The Misunderstood Dragon. Once there was a fierce dragon who lived in a cave atop a mountain. This dragon was feared by all who knew of it, for it was said that it could breathe fire and level entire villages with a single swipe of its tail. The dragon was content to live in its cave, hoard its treasure, and feast on any creatures that dared to enter its home. A group of adventurers had been planning their assault on the dragon's cave for weeks. They had gathered the best weapons and armor they could find, and had prepared potions and scrolls that would give them an edge in battle. As they stood at the entrance to the cave, they could feel the heat emanating from inside. They knew that the dragon was waiting for them, and that it would be a difficult fight. The dragon's voice boomed through the cave, echoing off the walls. "All the stories you've heard about me are lies. I'm not the fearsome creature that you think I am. I'm simply a creature who wants to be left alone. I have no desire to hurt anyone, but I will protect my home and my treasure. I suggest you turn around and go back the way you came. If you insist on entering my cave, then you will be at my mercy." The adventurers hesitated for a moment, unsure of what to do. They had come this far and were not about to turn back now. They knew that the dragon was powerful, but they also knew that they had the advantage. With a battle cry, they charged into the cave. The dragon watched them come, easily dodging their attacks. It was clear that they were no match for him. As they tired, the dragon began to attack. Its fire breath scorched them, and its claws ripped them to shreds. The adventurers fought bravely, but in the end, they were no match for the dragon. Their bodies lay scattered about the cave, mangled and charred beyond recognition. The dragon returned to its hoard, content to wait for its next meal. A few days later, a wizard arrived that had been studying the dragon and was confident that he could defeat it. He had prepared powerful spells that he believed would give him the upper hand in battle. As the wizard entered the cave, the dragon eyed him warily. It could sense the power emanating from the wizard and knew that this would be a difficult fight. The wizard and the dragon fought fiercely. The wizard's spells were powerful, but the dragon was relentless. The battle raged on for hours, and neither fighter showed any signs of backing down. Eventually, the wizard began to tire. His spells were no longer as effective as they once were, and the dragon was taking advantage of his weakness. The dragon breathed fire, engulfing the wizard in flames. The wizard screamed in agony as he was burned alive. The dragon watched as the wizard's body was reduced to ashes. It was a satisfying victory, but the dragon had been badly injured in the battle. One of his eyes had been disabled, and a patch of scales over his heart had been severely damaged. The next day, a woman entered the dragon's cave. She was mesmerizing, walking with the grace of a dancer, her skin as smooth as porcelain. The dragon was immediately taken with her. "Who are you?" he asked. "My name is Dolia," she replied. "I came here to make you an offer." "What kind of offer?" the dragon asked, intrigued. "I can give you the companionship you desire," Dolia said. "All you have to do is let me stay with you in your cave." The dragon considered her offer for a moment. He was intrigued by this woman and her mysterious energy. "Very well," he said. "You may stay. But I warn you, if I sense any trickery, I will kill you." Dolia smiled and moved closer to the dragon. He could feel the heat emanating from her body, and it was intoxicating. In the days that followed, Dolia and the dragon grew closer. He showed her his treasure hoard, and she told him stories of her life. He struggled with his injuries and was glad to have her by his side. The dragon was happy to have found someone who understood him, and he soon realized that he was in love with Dolia. One day, Dolia came to the dragon and asked him to turn her into a dragon like him. The dragon hesitated at first, but he loved her so much that he eventually agreed. The dragon used his magic to transform Dahlia into a dragon. Dahlia laughed as she felt the dragon's magic flow through her. She was now stronger than she ever could have imagined. The dragon looked at her with love and admiration. "Now we can be together forever," he said. Dahlia smiled and leaned in to kiss the dragon on the side of his disabled eye. Suddenly she pulled back and plunged her claws into the dragon's chest. The damaged scales over his heart gave way easily to her powerful thrust. He let out a cry of pain as she tore his heart from his body. Dahlia laughed as she held the dragon's still beating heart in her hand. "You foolish dragon," she said. "You should have never trusted me." Dahlia devoured the dragon's heart, absorbing his power and becoming the most powerful dragon in the world. She sat atop the dragon's treasure hoard, strong and proud. She was now the most powerful creature in the world, and no one could stop her. The villages that once feared the previous dragon now trembled at the mention of Dahlia's name. She was ruthless and cruel, and she enjoyed nothing more than destroying anything and anyone in her path. All the rumors and lies spread about the previous dragon became truth with Dahlia. The dragon's cave was her new home, and she would often take flight and terrorize the countryside. The people of the land soon realized that they could not defeat Dahlia on their own. They banded together and hired the best warriors, wizards, and fighters that they could find. Together, they marched on the dragon's cave. Dahlia was not afraid. She was confident that she could take on anything that these puny mortals could throw at her. The battle was fierce, but Dahlia was too powerful. She easily dispatched her enemies, one by one. With her enemies defeated, Dahlia claimed the title of Queen of the Dragons. She ruled over all of the land with an iron fist. No one was ever able to stand up to her again. The moral of the story is that you should not spread rumors and lies about things you do not understand. Otherwise, you might end up with exactly what you feared.